Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. So today I actually want you to put on your executive hats, okay? Because we are holding a highly strategic corporate restructuring meeting. But we aren't reorganizing human staff today. We are totally restructuring how we deploy our artificial intelligence. For the longest time, we've treated AI as just, well, a really smart tool. But honestly, we've kind of been using it all wrong. We're about to take our messy, overloaded AI workflows and transform them into a highly structured, hierarchical digital workforce. We are building the new A org chart.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is the strategic roadmap for today's restructuring. We're going to start by identifying what's broken, what I call the one-man army problem. Then, we'll design our brand new AI org chart right from the ground up. We'll check out how these new digital departments collaborate, go over the massive ROI this brings in terms of timelines and cost-cutting, and finally, look at the ultimate goal, the autonomous enterprise.
Section 1. The one-man army problem. Let's look at exactly why single-agent models crash under pressure.
Have you ever given an AI a massive task, fully expecting pure magic, only to watch it just completely fall apart? You know the drill. You get a big idea, maybe you want to build a new app or launch a brand. So you open your favorite AI tool, you type out this huge paragraph with all your instructions, hit enter, and you just hope it does the whole job in one shot. And at first, it looks amazing, but halfway through, it totally forgets your original goal. By the end, the code is a mess of placeholders, or it's hallucinating features that literally don't exist. We always blame the AI, but honestly, the AI isn't stupid. The problem is us. We're asking it to be the CEO, the lead developer, the marketing manager, and the intern, all at the exact same time. It causes massive cognitive overload. First, we had this solo freelancer approach, the single AI model. Great for a quick email, sure, but it hits a brick wall the second a task requires more than 5 steps. It completely loses sight of the bigger picture. So the tech industry tried to fix this with flat multi-agent models. Think of this as group chat chaos. It is exactly like a human group chat when there's no boss. Everyone argues, work gets duplicated, people get stuck in logic loops, and nothing actually gets done. There's zero leadership.
All right, Section 2, designing our AI org chart. We are moving from that chaos to a structured hierarchy.
The entire foundation of this new corporate structure rests on one big concept, decomposition. I know, fancy word, but it's really just the autonomous process of taking a giant, scary problem and breaking it down into small, manageable pieces. But here's the absolute game changer. Hierarchical AI is the very first time we've seen AI do this autonomously. It doesn't need us to hold its hand through every little subtask anymore. It looks at the big picture and just divides the labor itself.
Let's move to the next step and see how this builds into our actual organizational structure. We're setting up 3 distinct layers of authority, just like a real software company. Up at the top, we've got the strategic layer, our CEO. In the middle, the mid-level agents, the department managers. And down at the bottom, executing the tasks, we have our specialist agents, the workers. Let's look at the job descriptions for each of these new hires.
First up is the CEO. This agent sits at the very top, and its only job, literally its only responsibility, is high-level reasoning. It looks at your ultimate goal, let's say building an online store, and it maps out the vision. It says, okay, we need a design department, a tech department, and marketing. The CEO sets the roadmap and keeps everyone perfectly aligned with your original vision. Notice what the CEO does not do. It doesn't write a single line of code, and it definitely doesn't search the web. It just manages. Oh, and thankfully, this CEO doesn't demand a golden parachute. Next, we drop down to the department managers. The CEO hands down a mission, and the manager translates that broad vision into concrete action steps. So, if the CEO says we need marketing, the marketing manager steps in and decides, okay, that means we need keyword research, ad copy, and image generation. But, and this is absolutely crucial, their job doesn't stop at delegating. They act as our essential quality assurance layer. They oversee the workers to make sure the output actually meets company standards. Finally, the absolute backbone of our operation, the workers. These are specialist agents, and they are atomic. That means they have exactly one narrow, hyper-specific job to do, and they do it perfectly. One worker only writes Python. Another worker only scrapes Google. And because their focus is so incredibly narrow, they are lightning fast. Plus, this is huge. They rarely hallucinate. They don't suffer from the cognitive overload that makes a single AI just start inventing fake answers. Now, here is the secret sauce that makes this entire digital company run autonomously, the QA feedback loop. When a worker finishes a task, it doesn't just hand that work directly to you, the human. No way. It goes to the manager.
The manager reviews it against the original goal. If it's wrong or buggy, the manager instantly kicks it back to the worker for a redo. This recursive improvement means the system actually fixes its own mistakes without you ever having to jump in and type a new prompt.
Section 3. Cross-department collaboration. Let's look at a quick case study on launching an AI education YouTube channel.
And this brilliantly illustrates the power of this structure in action. Say you give the system one command: create a YouTube channel for AI education. The CEO agent instantly spins up 3 distinct departments: SEO, content, and branding. The SEO manager tells its workers to go find the top 50 AI videos right now. While that's happening, literally at the exact same time, the content manager has its workers drafting scripts and designing thumbnails. By the time the final project actually reaches your screen, it hasn't just been spat out by a single stressed-out AI. It's been researched, cross-referenced, audited, and polished by an entire digital organization working in total harmony.
Section 4. Accelerating timelines and cutting costs. Let's talk about the real business ROI of hierarchical AI. First, let's look at our timelines. In the old single-agent way, execution is strictly linear. The AI does task A, then it finally moves to task B, then task C. It's a massive bottleneck. But in our new hierarchy, we get parallel execution. The CEO can have 5 different departments working on entirely different pieces of the puzzle at the exact same time. This parallel execution dramatically shrinks our operational timelines. It's a massive speed boost for literally any project.
And then there are the margins. By switching to this hierarchy, we can actually save up to 90% on our API costs while getting better results. Wait, how is that even possible? Resource allocation. We only use the massive, incredibly expensive top-tier models, like GPT-4, at the CEO layer, where we actually need that deep logic and reasoning. But down at the worker layer, where tasks are atomic and simple, we deploy smaller, faster, and way cheaper models. We literally stop paying for a genius to sweep the floors.
The third massive operational benefit here is precision debugging. Look, if a single mega prompt fails, you have zero idea why. It's a total black box. But in a hierarchy, you have complete visibility. You can instantly see exactly where the chain broke. You can look at the logs and say, okay, the CEO gave a perfectly good plan, but this specific worker agent failed to scrape the right data. Because the system is modular, you can just instantly swap out or fix that one tiny piece without touching or disrupting the rest of your workflow.
Section 5. The autonomous enterprise. Transitioning from smart tools to scaling businesses. So the crucial point is this major mental shift. We have got to stop thinking of AI as a tool and start thinking of it as a team. A single AI is a very smart employee, sure, but a hierarchical AI system, complete with a CEO, managers, specialized workers, and those built-in QA loops, that is a scaling enterprise. We are already seeing this structure totally revolutionize autonomous coding, advanced robotics, and personal productivity. We are talking about a dedicated staff executing your vision 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I want to leave you with this final thought as we wrap up our meeting today. The technology has evolved from a simple blank text box into an entire digital workforce just waiting for your instructions. So the real question is, will you keep prompting tools, crossing your fingers, and hoping for the best? Or will you start managing your own AI enterprise? The org chart is drawn. It's time to put your team to work. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.